further away down.
Or do you want to come and have a look at this machine?
I can see them.
Talked to Lee and Jean. Obviously Lee was the inventor of this type of design about 5 years ago. Lee? 5 was it? No?
Well, this one's 4.
About 4 years ago, yep. And basically Lee didn't want to grow the Clearfield chemistry for obvious reasons. You get plant backs. So you get plant backs. You get yield reduction because you're growing Clearfield technology. And I sent an email yesterday on who got it, but I was just trying to do some sums of what does brome grass cost us on our farm. And it's actually huge when you work out over a number of years. The cost of controlling it, the rotations you've got to do, the plant back it gives you. So if we could actually grow varieties like, the high yielding stuff like Latrobe, Compass, your high yielding wheat, Scepter, Mason, that kind of stuff, and didn't have the Clearfields, how much money would we make across our farm? And it's a really good question because we actually haven't gone down that path. Well, Lee has the last few years, but there's big yield reductions and plant backs associated with it. Growing scope is about 10 to 35% roughly. Lentils, growing hurricanes instead of ace or bolt is about 10 to 15% yield down at hurricanes. And plus there's no grade 2s with hurricanes. So if you don't get grade 1, you're down to feed. With the ace, bolt and flash, have a grade 2. So there's a huge risk in growing a lot of this Clearfield stuff.
We still grow our legumes and all that, so yeah, we start playing with wider rows and with the idea of inter-row spraying. And 7 years ago we made the first one, which was a camera guided one. We saw it when we were using it. Yeah, it was actually really good. It was you'd go through nice and early, and it was doing a great job cleaning up the weeds. But because it was limited, you had to go in early with it because the camera stopped working once you got any sort of canopy closure. So we're getting these late germinations coming up and just sort of keeping the seed bank tinkered over. And so I wanted something I could come in later with and just sort of. The 3 years of using that thing and virtually cleaned the farm up pretty well, but we're just still getting this little dribble of stuff carrying over. So I just wanted something I could just come in late with and just take out, pretty much like an early crop top. You could just go in whenever you wanted and just take out the weeds without worrying the crop.
Yeah, very good.
Well, the journey starts by going across and looking at Lee's for probably 3 years and thinking I should make one of those. And anyway, not getting round to it, and then going to the field days, this thing, old girl was parked on the edge of the road with a for sale sign on it. So I bought that, and it actually sat in the yard for 12 months before I even decided I was going to do something. And in the end I thought, well, I better make it. So another trip to Leeds for a bit of a refresh, and sort of got stuck into it, I suppose, around February. Got sick of it and put it back in the shed, and then I left, set paddocks up for it, left wheel tracks and that, and thought, well, I better get it going. So
Many weeds, it's going to be really tough to get resistance to weeds as well. It's a numbers game, so your cheap herbicides are going to last a lot longer under low pressure, a hell of a lot longer. So your Verdict or Tiger-X or whatever it is you're using, Select, running out pretty quick. We're having to use higher rates. Please only pitting that one over here and one way over there, and that you're not going to get distance really, that kind of numbers really. So yeah, makes you sustainable long term, absolutely, as long as you rotate the glyphosate and paraquat. That's the main thing. Yeah.
good job.
last variety spiel, so whatever Sophie says today, he's not accountable for, okay? He can't go and talk to him about it again, so you can say what the hell you like, Soap. So tell us what's new on the barley, Soap, what we should be growing.
Well, I just thought it was probably relevant stuff you're talking about sort of back there in terms of scope and our yield penalties we're getting by growing scope, and we'll talk about lentils in the next hour or so at the next site in terms of probably our yield penalty by growing hurricane. So I think we've all dabbled in scope, and the quicker we get our scope the better. But it's been a bloody useful tool, and I just this Clearfield chemistry in cereals, I just hate to think where we would have been if we didn't have it, mate, I guess, and I think we all have to agree on that. It's a necessary evil by growing it, and we have to grow it, but as soon as we get out of it, the better. And as Snuff said before, in terms of our yield penalties, it's up to 15% on compass by growing a variety like scope, compared to growing a high yielding variety like compass. And I guess in terms of scope's defence, compasses, this is only the first year we've sort of been bulking up compass, and so we haven't had it 3 years ago where I guess scope first started, and we had to start somewhere with Clearfield technology, and particularly in barleys. We've had STL and wheat for a number of years now, and then we've moved on to cord, and now probably most have moved on to grenade as well. So we didn't have that luxury with the barleys until scope come along. So I guess hopefully by the end of next year, the year after that, we've probably seen the last of scope. And in saying that, some say I'm a bit harsh on it. Some say it's been their best gross margin in that sort of northern regions of the Mallee the last couple of years.
I think sand, Sophie,
On sand, yeah. I'm sure you're right, Snuff. And yeah, so there's a lot that still say, well, shit, we can't hold it as yet, apart from its earworm legacy and head drop.
I think if you look at that long-term average for the barley, you look at compass to scope, it's about almost half a tonne per hectare. So you got that 2.99's compass, and you go down to the bottom scope 2.55, and that's not on sands, but that's on the Mallee, on pretty good soil types, sandy loams. Okay, that just gives you an idea though what the difference can be on the good soil types. Yeah.
But it's been a difference probably growing a cereal in brome grass country compared to not growing a cereal, if we've sort of been hammering the STLs, the cords, and now the grenades. So it definitely serves a purpose, and the quicker we get out of it, not trying to be derogatory to the variety, but it has got its faults, and at the same time, I tell you what, it's been a bloody good little niche variety in that window of opportunity while we've got brome numbers pretty bloody high and soaking up residues. And I guess so, as Matt said, the next sort of variety that we've had a few Clearfields wheats, and now this new Latrobe Emmy, or Hindmarsh, I just call it another Hindmarsh type Emmy variety, which is the one down, is that next year, Chris, there, that 1334 numbered one?
Yeah, the one.
Yeah, and I guess if you've got the soil types to grow that, and we're still locked into the short to medium term with Clearfield barleys, I'll be definitely having a crack at that one, particularly where you've got solid soil type. So, like Trent, I reckon that big block of darks out your way, this variety would be bloody ideal, even though ryegrass is probably your main issue on that paddock. Yeah, it'll be ideally suited to that sort of soil type, darks country. Just typical good Hindmarsh where you've got Hindmarsh this year. So I think anyone that's got good solid soil types, it's been traditionally Hindmarsh, and we're still locked into Clearfield barley, definitely that variety's the one to go for, Snuff.
And there's a good trick too. So if someone wants to run Latrobe and say the new Emmy Hindmarsh, and they're not sure what to put in what paddock, the new Hindmarsh Latrobe have got purple there, auricles there that wrap around, and the new Clearfield ones are clear. So you can go on your crop and go and check what colour they are to make sure they're definitely the right variety. Make sense? So I'll hand them around. So purple versus clear, and if you look there, there's John there. Oops.
So I guess, yeah, I think I can't fault Korak anywhere I see it. A lot of my clients have got it, and just can't fault it at this stage. And I guess the question is APW versus AH, I guess, Snuff. And I think, not too many clients of mine can consistently say we're getting hard anymore, and I think we're just farming for APW wheats given their rotation stuff.
Yep.
What's everyone think? Are we getting any hard wheats anymore or not?
Well, last year there was heaps.
Last year was heaps, yeah.
It did make a bit of difference. Yeah. So this one hard?
This one's hard, John.
Yeah. So where does it sit on the sprouting sort of?
No, it's not too bad, Don. Yeah, not too bad.
Mid-range here?
Yeah, mid-range, yeah. Probably not as good as Yippee, but definitely can handle a couple of deluges. But don't expect a variety like this new axe replacement hatchet. Yeah, it'll just bloody go whoop first range. So I think there's encouragement. We're sort of a little bit sort of concerned that wheat was sort of just plateauing out and not sort of getting that yield spike like the barleys have been. But no, I'm pretty confident going forward that varieties like this, varieties like Cutlass, definitely Korak, and I think there'll be definitely in the pipeline better Clearfield wheats around coming out too.
Yep.
Yeah, so.
Where do you reckon Scout? Where does it fit? Not really.
Oh, Scout on up our way, but it just bloody on sand. That's what really kicked a lot of my growers in the guts on the sand, and just its maturity. We probably should walk this down the front there. You'd see its maturity. It's just that fraction later than what we'd probably like for it, particularly when the season just closes up like it has now. Yeah, but I think there's better varieties around than Scout. There's no doubt, Bomber. But what works on your farm?
Yeah.
If you're still happy with it, stick to it. And I wouldn't, if you've got a couple of tonne of this or a tonne of this, just have a bit of a play around with it. You got some Korak?
Grenade and cord as well.
Yeah.
Well, we've had Scout for a while. I've never really been a fan of it.
Bloody tough.
It's all right, but it just hadn't really, because we did it because of the Yippee thing, with the
Stem rust.
stem rust.
Yep.
And,
The thing about varieties is it's the local adaptability. You look at the wheats compared Hopetoun mean the long-term average of the Mallee, and the wheats are different. What's winning and what's not. And birch would be different to Oldham, are different to here. So you can look at the sites where the closest to you, but they're just a guide to what to try, aren't they? It's like,
Oh, that's right.
it's not gospel saying this is going to be yours or that's going to be yours. You know the top. It's like the 100-metre sprint at the Olympics. This is the best of the best, and work out what's going to fit your farm basically. So.
I think that the days have come now where we've just got to dip our toe in the water and get a tonne of this or a tonne of whatever, and just try it for a year or two. And as Snuff said, each environment is different to the environment. So Pinaroo, Carwalk, bloody Ultima here. So until you try it, you don't really know.
In his life, he actually loves doing what he's doing. But I'd like to wish him well, and for Soapy's sake, please don't grow any more scope because he's got to clean the shit for now. So only clean varieties that aren't itchy. Yep, and big tonnages. So, but thanks, Soap.
It's been a great, wonderful journey.
And
Wonderful
I'm
journey.
sure everyone here appreciates what you've done to the industry, and you're not gone, but it's always good to reflect on what you've helped the industry do, and good luck for the future. So.
Yeah, thanks, Snuff.
Thanks, Soap. Funny story, Soap.
Oh, there's no funny stories. I'd just like to say that the legacy that what I've learned off you guys, apart from a bit of agronomic knowledge, it's the relationships, and I walk away tonight or whenever it is, and if what's my lasting impression of working with Dodger Metal? That's the last 5 years or whatever. It's just relationships you have, and at the end of the day, it's not just clients, they're mates, and hopefully I'll be able to go fishing with Trent Oakley and Sam Parker and Westian and show them how to catch fish instead of I don't know about show them how to drink piss, but but yeah, I tell you what, it's the lasting relationships, and I think that's what it's all about. And hopefully we've made a difference in the road, in the actual farm business stuff, and hopefully I can walk away. We've done that, and but it's definitely the relationships, and it'll be forever, mate.
I'll just take you through this trial just quickly, not looking at every trait map, but this is just a trace element trial that we did here to try and pick up the yields of lentils. Okay, so lentils being such a high value crop, we thought what are the things we can do to make them, get more bulk, put more nitrogen in and maybe get more yield. So we do a lot of trace element improvements. You can see the stages of lentils being sprayed, so quite small. And you can see the soil types got a little bit of limestone in it. So little bit of free line there, okay, which is fine to grow lentils in. But to go about 50 metres that way, see some other peaks, and you see how the crop really picks up down there, it gets like thicker. That's when you get out of the limestone. Okay, so we did a trial on really good lentils that were tall, and we did a trial on lentils that were a little bit lower, the limestone, which is we took tissue tests. So on the back there, you've got a healthy area, a limestone area, and a sick area right at the back. It's in the colours, so green, yellow, and sick. And it shows you the healthy area over there, there wasn't anything lacking in the lentils. Okay, they were all putting amounts of everything. And you go to the limestone area, okay, and you can see that the levels of the nutrients drop in a lot of cases. And you go to a sick area, which is the sand rise, that a lot of the nutrients are really back, okay, back to a really low level, okay. So this gives us an indication that these plants here weren't picking up as much trace elements as the better plants were, okay. So one of the best, as I look at some of the better ones, the zinc, copper, mank, moly was really good. Zinc, copper, moly, zinc and copper, zinc, copper, moly, GA. So anything with zinc in it made a difference. But zinc by itself wasn't as good as when you put other trace elements with it. Okay, so the combination effect, okay, and the combination effect that the ratios made the difference. Okay, so you can't just whack a heap of everything in because the plants require different amounts of each one. So putting them in at the ratio was the key to getting the response. Okay, and then in the middle of the range was triple trace, which is just a chelated zinc, mank, copper. Mank by itself didn't do quite as good. Copper by itself didn't do quite as good. So it just shows you that these trace elements by themselves weren't the answer, but the combination were. Okay, but yeah, they are definitely. Yep.
So we could end up going back in the business.
Possibly. Yeah. It's a mild strain, so instead of them being sort of an R, they'd be MR to MS sort of thing. So they might need 2 or 3 sprays depending on the year. The Jet 90s now, just depends, but generally a 2 spray. There's always one at potting, I think.
Yeah.
It's the question of whether you need one during the year. And we've been finding it. We're pretty lucky it hasn't rained. Not lucky, but it hasn't rained the last few months. But, well, we have seen it. Before it started went dry, we picked up ascophytum everywhere. And that would have went rampant if it had kept raining. So it's a risk, yeah. Yep.
So in terms of varieties, Matt, though, some of the Desi varieties suit us better anyway.
They do, yeah. Gen 90s are too late.
Yeah.
The only appealing thing about the Gen 90s was the fact that they were totally resistant to ascophytum in the past, and you could get they're a 6 to 8 mil kabuli, so you get a reasonable premium over the Desis. But saying that, the Desis probably yield a bit better, and they might be better suited